And we're live.
Oh, fine.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning.
Dude, I always miss work when I have a day off. What's up, Nugs, Nicole, Anton, if you're still here?
What is going on? How is everybody? Hello, Nicole. Hello, Nubs. Hello, Andy. Hello, Anton.
Ooh, Andy called you old?
Andy called me old.
Yeah.
What the hell? It's rude. Hold on, let me get my Twitters out and then...
See, she goes live, she ain't ready.
Now I gotta go to my sounds. That was low.
Very low.
There we go. Rude.
What's up, Patrick? Skooks?
Hey, Patrick. Hey, Skooks.
Ooh, Nicole called Andy a fossil.
Yeah. Andy.
Hey, Dakota.
Hello, Dakota. How are ya? See how you are? Oh, so
you didn't say that part, Andy, so I just assumed you called her old. Hey, Heather.
Hey, Heather.
Yes, I'm trying to get you in trouble. Not like you need help or anything, but, you know.
That's funny. Are you getting ear bendings from Nicole? I'm sure they're good ones and rightful ones. How are you guys this morning? How is your Monday going so far?
Like crap.
Whatever.
It's snowing.
I know it is snowing here. Guys, will you take back your snow, please? We don't want any more.
Andy says very wrongful ones.
Bull.
Andy was bad today.
Oh.
Did the day end in Y?
Yes, the day must have ended in Y for Andy to be bad.
Not the question why. We're talking about the letter Y.
You guys.
Yes, you do, Heather.
Oh, almost. You got it.
I said, yes, you do, Heather.
You're the best. Oh, thank you for the ice cream, Nicole. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nicole says, bring the snow to me. We have too much sunshine.
Patrick's getting high winds and rain.
Damn, New York got blasted too a couple days ago. There was like over 3,000 people without power.
It's bloody hot here in 2. Your rocks in the post from here to what?
Hello, Rain.
How you doing, Rain? Andy, you just confused the shit out of me.
Oh, thank you, Heather, for the lemons. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Patrick, you need a few women in there. Women power to run everything for you. Listen to that shit.
Andy, don't try to suck up now. You're already in trouble. You're supposed to suck up and then get in trouble. Just your warning, Andy. No, it didn't take long.
All right, Scoop. Hurry back.
Your steeping tea?
At first, I read that as sleeping tea. Woman power. Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, and not to talk about my channel, but I want Andy, congratulations, brother. What a show yesterday.
Yes, and today, after this show, hopefully, fingers crossed.
I have no idea where she's going.
Fingers crossed. at the post office is my connector so I can hook up my freaking other monitor.
And the way it's snowing, she thinks I'm walking over there.
You already said you were. Shut up.
I didn't know it was going to continue snowing.
So I'm excited. Please, I bought 2 of them, so they better be the right connectors.
Yeah, you're 0 for 3.
I know. But these ones have every connection imaginable. That's why it cost me like $80.
Oh, what the fart?
Yeah.
That went well with that look I just got.
You ain't fucking kidding me.
It was my money.
Oh, what the fart?
Oh, your money. Oh, okay. All right. I am not going to the fucking post office.
Did that double play?
Yes. No. Nicole did it and then Heather did
Okay, all right. That's what I was wondering. That was perfect timing, though, guys.
No, Andy. It's our show. It ain't my show.
That's right. It's both of your guys' show. You're locked in now, Andy. No escaping. Good try, though.
I know, right? He's trying to calm me back out of it.
I know,
Let's just say we ended up with 93 views and I picked up another sub.
It's because you guys rock. You guys are awesome. Definitely.
Heather, I did smash the like button. I think I broke it.
I appreciate you guys liking and sharing out and that. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot. It really does. It really does. I'm actually awake.
And that's scary.
That is scary, but I am awake. Happy Monday, Jim. Honestly, Eddie, you don't have to put me in Missy's to get there. Yes, Andy and Eddie are a sweet, cute couple. Yes, they are.
Hey, Jim.
They really are.
We meld well together.
I got to find that bromance song.
I'm glad you had a good time, Patrick.
Me too. I think everybody has a good time in your shows.
Well,
You
that's
guys
what the weekend's about.
You guys do a really good job. You really, really, truly do.
You take it on me.
Oh, what the fart?
No, I'm serious.
I said that you.
No, I know, because I was answering the what the fart.
Oh, you finally got it organized again, Jim? How long do you think that's going to last? If you're anything like me, by the end of the day, it's like, why the fuck I even do anything?
Yeah, that's true. Or you can't find anything.
Yeah. See, we get an organized mess.
Chocolate mooncake time!
Ask me where shit's at right now, and I know where it is. Go through and clean here and ask me where it's at, and I'm going to look at you and go, I have no fucking idea.
Yep, no idea whatsoever. It sucks. But, what are you going to do? And then you destroy the place again looking for it. Right?
And then you catch yourself just throwing shit right back to where it was.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, Andy. Andy says his place is organized, an organized catastrophe.
Exactly. I know where everything's at, so it's not a mess.
Okay, Patrick.
Just be safe, brother.
Yeah, just be safe. We know if you do disappear, we know that you're here in heart. We do. So we do.
Roll right.
Can everybody hear Eddie okay? Because I had an interview Friday. Yeah, I switched the settings and I switched them back. Hopefully I hit the right one. Uh-oh. Ron?
No, it has the S on it. So
okay. Ha!
How you doing, Ron?
You scared me.
Yeah, see, she's trying to switch the microphone off from my side, so it makes it like I'm in the show when I'm really not.
Okay, good. Thank you, guys. run. Now I can yell at you. The first one was kind of like a nervous run.
You're right, Andy. You know, our place looks lived in. It's not a model home.
Yeah, it's lived in. What can I say? I mean, you know.
Welcome back, Scoops.
Welcome back, Skooks. No, he's got his own side of the mic.
For now. She thinks she can fucking mute me forever? It ain't happening.
I know. You see how I am? Did somebody just knock on the door?
I heard my chair.
Okay, maybe that's what I heard. I don't know. Anyway, hope everybody is doing well. Today is, of course, Monday Musings, Paranormal Talk.
Are you serious? Do you have your card?
I don't know. Yes.
I gotta go for a few minutes. It's the only chance he can take me to the post office and shit.
Okay, honey. All right. Well,
sorry, guys. See, she's kicking me right the fuck out the show.
I didn't do nothing.
I
didn't do nothing.
You got your code set on that?
Yep.
Okay. And it's what I think it is.
Yep.
Right? All right. I'll be back in a few minutes, baby.
All right, honey.
Post office keys.
All right. So anyway, sorry, guys. Sorry. He'll be right back. He's just going to the post office. And finally, hopefully, I get my 2 monitors. At least the connector, so I can hook up my monitor. All right. So, of course, today is Monday Musings, Paranormal Talk. You know, welcome to the Shadows in the Moon show with a little bit of chaos today. Being Monday Musings, so you know what that means. It's time for discussion about spooky things and scary stories and questioning the paranormal. Missy, I shall have to report you to the Eddie's version of PETA. Yeah, right? Today is the day we talk about all things paranormal, from haunted places, creepy stories, your stories, all that good stuff. And remember, if you're chatting over on Facebook, please, before leaving a comment, click on that where it says chat restream.io/Facebook, so we know who you are and you won't become just Facebook user. And of course, if you'd like to send us a voicemail, the link is in the description. We'll play it on air if it's a nice one. The weird without the beard. I like that. So today we're talking about Robert the Doll. We're going to start out with Robert the Doll. Now, I believe everybody should know who Robert the Doll is, right? You guys know who Robert the Doll is. If not, well, you'll find out by the end of the story. Then we're looking at 15 true paranormal stories. They're short stories, so I figured we'd run down there and see what it could be that haunting these people. And of course, last but not least, the strange mystery of the Michael teachings. Do you guys know about the Michael teachings? Is any of that? Andy, you don't know about Robert the Doll? Yes, Chucky was based off of him, which, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Michael Strange is somebody who came through in a Ouija board, and we'll definitely get into that story. So, yeah, without further ado, if you're listening over on the podcast portion of this, thank you so much for supporting the show and listening to us and sharing us out. We really appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, I invite you to come on over to the live show on YouTube and hang out and chat with us. We love having you. And don't forget, as I roll the credits, get over to D-Live for that chest opening. All right. So let's get this up here. Yeah, it's very weird. The whole thing about Michael Strange is very, very weird. But we'll get into that. Or the Michael cheating. Michael Strange. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. That's troubled minds. So, what are you going to do? But the Michael teachings is very interesting. Very interesting. So we'll get into that as it goes on. So let's go ahead and get started. So people always, thank you for the ice cream, Patrick. Thank you for the ice creams. I appreciate it. Weird is good. The more weirder, the better, I say. I love it. I love the weird and the strange and the odd. Hello, Freaky Geek. Welcome. So people always have a way of becoming attached to things. Maybe it's the long journey that we have with these objects accompanying us in our lives, or perhaps due to the feelings that they can invoke, what they can evoke when we see them or touch them. Or maybe deep down, we understand that even though our lives may be fleeting and temporary, these things, these objects we grow in love and revere, seem to live on after we're gone. I was married to weird, were you, Patrick? As you can see, being with Eddie, I am definitely involved with weird. Get started. Darn it, I hope to miss the doll talk. You didn't want to see the interview? I saw your comment, Freaky. Right? We should. We should start a GoFundMe to buy Freaky a nice haunted possessed doll for him to cuddle and sleep at night. He's like, yeah, that's a box I'm not opening. He's going to have an unboxing with fire. So the habit of attributing personality and emotion to our possession is something known as anthropomorphism. We give human characters to things that are far from human. Some people name their cars and talk to them like old friends. Come on, Bessie, you can do it. Others will say that the house has nervous energy. Freaky. That's mean and scary. Hey, Abraxas, how you doing? So they don't, but at the same time they do. You know what I mean? Like you walk into a house and you can feel it has nervous energy. We're naming something that is far from human, right? Or like it said in the thing, naming your cars. Thank you, whoever bought the coffees. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I was waiting for that, but the thing didn't pop up. I don't know why. Oh, Lord. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, Christine, yeah. So the best place to see this practice is the presence of children, right? The toys they cherish, the ones that follow them to room from room, or lay in the laps on long car rides, or get pulled under the covers with them at bedtime. These objects. That's really mean. Was it? Oh, Nicole. I thought it was freaky. These objects take on a personality of their own. Often it's just a game. Other times it's a coping mechanism for loss or fear. But sometimes, on rare occasions, these objects seem to set the rules for themselves. They pick their own personalities. They guide the children's decision as if someone or something was controlling them. In 1982, a backhoe operator was preparing a building site for a development in Titusville, Florida. While working on one of the ponds, he noticed that what he thought were rocks visible in the mud, but something didn't sit right with him. So he climbed out to take a closer look. What he had thought to be stones actually turned out to be bones, specifically human skulls, or a human skull. A county medical examiner was brought in, but it became clear almost immediately that the bones belonged to someone who had died very long ago. When Florida State University became involved, they uncovered, so to speak, the truth. The bones belonged to a 3-year-old girl who had died more than 7,000 years before Florida had become a state. It was clear that she had been buried by her parents, though they had wrapped her in cloth made from local plant fibers and placed her in a shallow grave. But she wasn't alone. With her in the ground, placed near her arms in case she wanted them, were her toys. It seems that children have had toys or objects that they loved and played with for thousands of years, perhaps tens of thousands of years. Right? That would be awesome to find something. I mean, not that I want to, dig up anybody's grave or anything, but, it would be wild to come across something like that. But toys were still rare. In a world where everyone has to contribute to the well-being of the community, even the children were expected to grow up fast and do their part. When they have toys, they were often in basic shapes, such as marbles or tops. They would also play with objects meant to represent the most thing important to their village or clan. Toy animals, soldiers, religious icons are all commonly found by archaeologists in the grave of aged children. Interestingly, the ancient Greeks expected children to give up their toys when they came of age. Young women would actually take their toys to the local temple on the night before their wedding, and where they would offer them as the sacrifice to the gods. Hello, Amanda. Welcome, hon. These rules began to shift after the advent and the enlightenment of the mid-1600s. Society became more affluent, and children weren't expected to work as often as they had previously. In addition, their toys became more complex and useful. Jigsaw puzzles were born in 1767 as a way of teaching geography, and board games from the same period were meant to entertain. Doing good, hon. Thanks for asking. Hope you are well. Toys had evolved, but throughout all of history, it seems, across cultural boundaries and spanning thousands of years of art and technology, there has been one constant in the world of toys. From the tombs of the pharaohs in Egypt to the shelves of the Target down the street, one toy has maintained a universal and timeless appeal. Dolls. They're little representations of us, after all. They personify the people we love, and provide the comfort to the lonely in a way that no other toy can. And because of that, people get attached. Children refuse to put them down, and even in adulthood, dolls have a tendency to be kept around. Sometimes, though, the roles are reversed. As unhealthy as it sounds, there are more than a few stories of dolls, not children, who refuse to let go. Let me take a sip of my Pepsi. Doo-doo-doo. They seem to take control, to set the tone and dominate the lives of people who own them. And sometimes the consequences have been frightening. Thomas and Minnie Otto were well-off and well-traveled couple with a deep love of the arts. They were native to Key West, Florida, and in 1898 they completed building a brand new home on their Eaton Street. Exactly, Nubs, Annabelle, Robert, many more. Definitely. 2 years after moving, the couple welcomed their third child into the family, a son named Robert Eugene. They called him Gene, and the family quickly settled to their leisurely lifestyle in the Keys. There had been more than enough money, and they spent it on convenience, which included a staff of caretakers around the house. Cooks and maids were always at the ready, including a woman from Jamaica who worked as little Jean's nurse. History doesn't remember her name. If you're a woman in 1904, that was pretty common. Unfortunately, if your skin color wasn't pale and European, those chances dropped even more. So we don't, unfortunately, know her name. But we do know that she loved Jean. She spent hours with him every day. She traveled with the Ottos on their journeys around the country, caring for him like a turn-of-a-century version of uptown Manhattan nanny. She was close to him, and that's probably why she gave him the doll. It was big, about the size of a 4-year-old, in fact. It was filled with straw, hand-sewn and dressed in a white sailor's uniform, and Jean loved it. He took it everywhere with him, on travels abroad and on day trips into the town with his mom. It was said that Jean even sometimes wore a similar outfit, and the two seemed like siblings. Jean called the doll Robert, using his own name, and the relationship got off to a storybook start. The doll had its own chair near the dining room table, and Jean would sneak little pieces of food to it as the family ate. During bath time, the doll would be placed on a dry towel near the tub, while Jean played in the water with the toy boats and corks and all the usual things that little kids love to do. By the end of the night, Jean would bring Robert to bed with him, and the two of them would be tucked in together. Hey, Linz! Welcome, welcome. Eddie's not here at the moment, but he will be. He disappeared for a minute. Everything about this was normal. You know, my own childhood, I did the similar things. Naming the dolls, bringing them along for car rides. You know, but for Jean, that's where the normality stopped. Because not long after settling into a routine with his new toy, things got weird. And according to most reports, it all started with the talking. Jean's parents would often... Jean's parents would often hear their son's voice coming from his bedroom as he played. Even though he was there alone, it would always sound like he was in deep conversation with someone else. First, they would hear his voice, sweet and tiny, and then another voice would reply, different and rougher than his own. Sometimes the second voice would sound insistent, like Jean would almost sound unnerved and flustered. Of course, Jean's parents assumed that it was a game and that he was simply playing make-believe. Thank you for the lemon, Linz. Thank you. Like you said, of course, Jean's parents assumed it was a game and that he was simply playing make-believe. But over time, they began to second-guess that presumption. During a few of these apparent conversations, Jean's mother would quietly approach the boy's room, and then, without warning, she would burst into the room. Inside, it was said that she found her son cowering in the corner, arms wrapped around his knees, while Robert the doll sat on the bed or the chair. She couldn't be sure, but it seemed like that the doll was glaring at the boy. Things escalated from there. The Ottos woke on a number of occasions. Oh, crap. Okay, there we go. The Ottos woke on a number of occasions to the sound of Jean screaming in his bedroom. They would rush to his room only to find him sitting on the bed, furniture in the room overturned, and his belongings strewn about. Right, Patrick? Patrick said that would freak me out. Or make me think the kid was a ventriloquist. That's true. According to Jean, Robert was to blame. Robert the doll glaring at him from the foot of the bed. Robert did it. It became a common phrase around the Otto house after that. They didn't believe their son, of course, but the boy blamed the doll for the most unusual activity. When his parents found toys that apparently had been mutilated or broken, Jean said that Robert had done it. Sometimes the Ottos could hear giggling from somewhere else in the house. Sometimes this happened at night, and each time when Jean was supposed to be in bed. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Freaky said, I would have removed the doll as soon as its face changed. Dishes and silverware were often found around the dining room floor. Clothing would be found on the floor, and appearing to have been shredded by some unknown person. Betches and Nubs says, see, if my child came to me and said the doll did it or something like that, I would believe my child in a heartbeat. You got to watch out for that, though, because children will tend to lie about that. And they're like, oh, they believed me. Okay. But if you haven't heard my story, stay tuned, because some of you have heard it about my oldest and her doll. Yeah, it was a very weird situation. But anyway, getting back to this one, sometimes servants would enter an unused guest rooms, only to find that the bedding had been disturbed and pushed off to the carpet. The staff would even find themselves locked out of the house when making their nightly rounds. If Jean was clearly not at fault, sometimes the servants themselves were blamed for the disturbances. Thank you, Linz, for sharing us out. I appreciate it. Okay, Amanda. As a result, turnover in the house was high, with a constant rotation of servants coming and going. One constant through it all, though, was Robert, the unusual doll in the white suit, and according to some reports, he did more than make a mess. He may have killed. Hearing giggles from distant parts of the house was one thing, sure. It would unnerve most of us. I know it would freak me out, but the Ottos soldier up and putting up with the repeated excuses. They were strict parents, maybe even a little overbearing of today's standards, and were always quick to punish Jean for the mischief. It was one thing to make a mess, but staff was hard to train, and having them frightened away all the time wasn't congruent with their life of convenience. So they punished Jean.
Double points!
Damn it, you got me. Linz, you got me. To the boys' credit, they appeared to have been true believers in his stories. To the boy's credit, he appeared to have been a true believer in his stories. He would put up a small fight, blame the events on the doll, and then take the consequences like a responsible child. But there were other reports about the doll, and there were things that could no way be blamed on the youngest boy, Otto. Visitors to the house reported that the doll would blink. Some of them claimed to have heard the laughter themselves, and in times when Otto's family wasn't even at home. Neighbors said they would sometimes see the doll in the upstairs windows, moving from one to another, glancing out through the curtains toward the streets. Servants would find Robert in a completely different part of the house from where he had been left moments before. And sometimes the sounds of small little feet moving from room to room. All of this became too much. An extended family stepped in to find a solution. One of Jean's great aunts visited the family to plead her case. The doll was cursed, she said. Some evil spirits live inside of it, and they wanted to be rid of the chaos and random episodes by disturbance. So they need to get rid of the doll once and for all. On her recommendation, Robert was taken away from Jean and placed inside a box. The box was moved to the attic in the large house and out of sight, at least in theory, unable to cast his shadow over fear of the house anymore. The next night, the aunt was found dead in her bedroom. She was an older woman, so the official story that she had died of a stroke was passed around and believed by all. But the Ottos themselves, they didn't buy it. Out of fear of their own safety, Robert was brought out of storage and returned to their son's side, and that's how things remained. Chaos isn't here at the moment. I saw that, Heather. Good try. As all the kids do, though, Gene eventually grew up. He trained as a painter, traveled through Europe, and eventually married an accomplished pianist. But after his parents passed away, the couple moved back to Florida and took up residence in his old childhood home on Enton Street. Gene spent his day painting, and his wife Anne settled into a domestic life. And somehow in the middle of it all, according to reports, was Robert. Rumors in town spoke of how the doll had been placed in the dining room table, and that there was a chair beside their bed for him to sit on during the night. And that Gene had a habit of taking the doll with him as he moved about the house. There were whispers that his wife, Anne, hated the doll. Wow, Andy. Black Sabbath was once booked to play at some German town, but the local church got a petition and had them banned from playing there. A week later, the church burned down. Oh, okay. No problem, Nubs. Hi, Milan. Thank you for listening, hon. I hope you're having a good day. So she hated the doll, right? Unnerved by the presence of the doll so close to their marriage bed, it was said that she stopped allowing Gene to bring him into the room for a while, and he complied. Robert was locked back up into the attic, but according to reports, that didn't help. Robert would remain sometimes being found sitting in a rocking chair downstairs, even though he was supposed to be locked up in the attic. The couple would hear footsteps in the attic at night and soft, distant sound of laughter. Local legends claim that all this drove Gene's wife insane, and she eventually ended up ending her life. The study of folklore often encounters the same patterns throughout the world and across the centuries. One common theme that we see in this dehumanization of people of minority status, the witch trials stand as a somber example of this, where the accused, often women, often poor and often social outcast already, were stripped of the humanity and treated like animals and monsters. Robert the doll, though, stands on the opposite side of the spectrum. Rather than being one more tale of something that having their humanity stolen from them, Robert, a cloth and straw doll without a soul, appears to have humanity bestowed upon him. Why? It's hard to say. Perhaps it's because Gene Otto's parents needed an excuse for their son's unusual behavior. Maybe it was a culture of superstition brought into the house by servants with different backgrounds. Somehow, a living, breathing Robert was easier story to swallow than the alternative. We'll never know for sure whether Gene Otto invented it all. He passed away in 1974 with Robert by his side. For a while, the house remained uninhabited, unless you count Robert as a resident. But eventually, a new family moved in the house and made their home, the house on Eaton Street, their home. Hey, Giggle Pickles, how are you? They restored a lot of the original charm to the house, and in the process, they found the doll. Maybe they were compelled to, or maybe they heard about it from locals, but for whatever reason, the new family packed up the doll and moved it to the attic. Eventually, though, the family donated Robert to the local museum, but it wasn't charity that motivated them. It was fear. You see, not long after moving in, they began to experience odd little things that Jean Otto would have known all too well. Soft giggling, light footsteps in the attic, random, unexplainable messes. The family's 10-year-old daughter reported that the doll would appear in the house on its own, and in a handful of occasions it even tried to attack her, and claimed that she holds even now as an adult. But the final straw happened later when the girls' parents were awoken in the middle of the night. In the darkness of the room, they could hear laughter and the sounds of movement. Alarmed, one of them flipped up the bedside lamp only to feel their hearts stop. There at the foot of the bed was Robert the doll with a kitchen knife in his hand. Dun, dun, dun. So what do you guys think? How did Robert come alive? What do you think how Robert came along? Right, freaky. Yeah, it's that little, yeah, that would freak me out. Do you think he gave him life? That Jean gave him life? Or do you think the nanny did it? Shotgun to the face with that doll? Possessed? Nub says it definitely had an evil spirit in it.
Double points.
You didn't get me that time. Ha. Jamaican witch doctor for a nanny made the kid some kind of voodoo doll. You think so, Andy? I don't know. Why would she do that? Like, I mean, what was her reasoning of doing that? She loved Jean, the nanny. She loved Jean. I'm just eating super, not eating all day. So, oh, that's supper. That's okay, Lynn. Go for it. Hell yeah. Patrick said, I think it was cursed by the nanny that made it him. Best way to get rid of the doll is to burn it. Freaky Geek says. Adventures with Nubs. I think the nurse cursed the doll. Giggle says, Robert the doll was inhibited by the spirit of a child. Skook says, wasn't she fired? Not in this story. It didn't say. Amanda said it's possible that Eugene believed it so much that the doll was real that it came to life. Like Pinocchio. Yeah, like a tulpa inside the doll. Definitely. In other parts of the story, I heard that the nanny was fired by the family. Could be. I know there was a lot of overturn because they kept freaking out. Do you know what I mean? Which, believe me, I would have too. So my story with my doll, some of you guys have heard it. Others have not. My oldest had we bought her a doll, a baby doll. It was one of those plastic ones where the arms moved and the legs moved and they blinked when you laid, closed their eyes when they laid down. Had the curly brown hair, just a normal freaking doll, right? So me and my ex-husband put hey, Blue, welcome, had put my oldest to bed and with her doll. And one night she started screaming, get it away from me. Get it away from me. We run up there. Get it out of here. It's hurting me. And Taylor Ryan wasn't born yet. So she was between 1 and 3, 1 and 4. So she's like, get it away from me. It's hurting me. So we're like, what the hell's going on? Right? So we take the doll and everything, and nothing really happens. So, and I remember we're talking about getting a video camera. But remember, back then, video cameras were the big bulky ones with the tapes in them that cost you could rent one and run a center. So it's like, do we buy one? Because we wanted to set it up and see what the hell's going on. Like if it was really hurting her or if she rolled over on it and it hurt her. You know, because sometimes that happens with kids. They roll over on the doll and the doll was plastic. So, yeah, portable TV studio. Yeah, exactly, right? So anyway, the weirdest thing is every time we put it in her room, she knew that room was in her, or that doll was in her room. Like, I don't know how she knew, but she knew. We went as far as even in the back of her closet, which she didn't even know about this. You know, she was like 3 or 4 and never went in her closet. There was a, like, you know, the vents that you can walk through, not walk through, but crawl through, like an air vent. It went from one side of the house to the other, right? And we put it in there without her knowing it. So, like I said, you walk in her closet, and down below there's like this little square that only like a person can fit through, right? And we put the doll in there. There was no way in hell she would have known that that doll was in there. Didn't she wake up that night screaming, "Get it out of my room! Get it out! Get it out!" Pointing exactly where that doll was. There was no way. So my ex-husband finally like took all the pieces, like took her arms off, took her legs off, took her head off, and he put them in each dumpsters around our town, just so in case it came, you know, we saw Chucky, you know, just in case, you know, it could assemble itself back together. But I remember that was really freaky. That was the first time that, you know, that it had ever happened, something like that ever happened. But she knew that doll was in there. And I mean, she was terrified. Wasn't like a, you know, 3-year-old just having a fit. She was terrified of that doll. Like I said, it never did anything around us. We never seen anything. It happened. It just, you know, like I said, at first, no, it was a new doll, Heather. It was a new doll. She asked if the doll was pre-owned or new. It was a new doll out of the box. Hello, Lady Crocheter. How are you? Yeah, right. Andy says I should have sent it to Freaky. He would have really appreciated it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you know how kids are. When they get hurt or something, they think the thing's hurting them, but it's not. But after that, I think what freaked me out more was her knowing that the doll was there. Do you know what I mean? Without seeing it, without no way of knowing, because it was upstairs and downstairs apartments. So she was downstairs, and that's when we put it. Well, he put it in the hole. Hey, Boomer. Chaos is back.
Fucking post office is mad.
Really?
One person we're gonna goddamn counter.
All right, here's the moment of truth. Let's see if that should work. I'm not going to hook it up now, but...
Oh, well, yeah, you'd have to end the show. Oh.
Not really. But,
no,
yeah.
They don't want to see the crack in my ass bent over trying to hook shit up. Yeah, one person working the counter.
Oh.
That line goes all the way to the back where the 4 aisles fuel boxes.
Sorry, guys. I just got to check this real quick because I'm hoping to God this will work.
Thanks, everybody who might wish me back. I'm back. Hey, Boomer, Amanda.
Oh, no.
This is the part that sucks about our town because we have a physical address, but we have no physical mailbox. Everybody in this town has to have a P.O. box.
Yeah. Yeah, that should work.
You're right. I think you were saying no crackers are allowed, but cookies are more than welcome.
Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
You're the best, Nicole. But she's like, damn it, I played that too soon after Eddie said that.
That is freaking
Here.
pretty good again.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, Boomer. I know my turn. I should have turned my camera off.
I didn't even think about it. I was too busy.
Careful. Watch your ears.
Thank you. Watch your ears. Thank you for the ice cream.
And it's going to happen again.
Watch your ears again.
Might be.
That was a big delay.
Well, it's because Freaky had just done it.
Right, yeah. So, all right, that should work. Hopefully that'll work. I'll get my monitor hooked up again. So, yeah, that's my story about
And she's sticking to it.
Taylor's doll. Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't that the doll, I mean, that was kind of freaky too, that she thought the doll, but she knew that doll was in her room she should have never known.
That almost sounds familiar. Isn't that with it? It's a little girl?
No, I told you about Taylor and her doll.
Oh, your daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, how it kept reappearing in the damn room, or you hit it.
Yeah, and she knew it was
But she
there.
knew it was
Yeah,
in the room.
we put it in that thing.
Oh, Lynn's got you because I wasn't here. Hey, Giggles.
Patrick's like, what did I start? Sorry, guys.
That was the doll you guys finally broke apart and threw in the garbage, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did. Thank you, Boomer, for the diamond. Put this in your chair and hatch it, Eddie. Much love. Keep it real.
Well, where's that at?
From Boomer.
Oh, I appreciate it, Boomer. I don't know if I can hatch a diamond, but I'll try like hell. Freaky.
I know, you
got
did
shot
get the
was I
blame.
got the blame.
Yeah, you did get to blame, Freaky.
Sorry, I wasn't here to have you back, brother. I'd have died Nicole out in a heartbeat.
I don't know, Heather. I really don't know. But yes, Lee ended up taking the whole thing, taking the head apart. Like the head went in one dumpster, an arm went in another. He drove around the whole town of Leroy.
And threw this doll out in different dumpsters.
Yeah. He's like, there's no chance, because he grew up in a haunted house. So he's like, there's no freaking chance this doll is coming back to life.
The Freaky says, I just laughed and kept knitting.
Chocolate mooncake time!
Thank you for the moon cookie.
Oh, that would be Lynn's.
Yes.
It wasn't coming up underneath the moon like it usually does.
Oh.
Yeah, the name wasn't there.
I didn't notice. That's the way with women. Freaky nearest man always gets the blame for everything. That is true. Sorry.
You notice how much shit I wasn't blamed for because I wasn't here.
Oh, I could always make up for that.
No, I know. It's coming. Don't worry. I bought you food.
Oh, thank you.
See, Andy, you suck up before you fuck up.
All right,
back,
Heather, hurry back. All right, so I got these quick little there's like 15 of them, but we'll go through them and see what's going on, but there's like little stories, ghost stories, haunted stories, paranormal stories, you know.
I'm good, Lynn. I'm good. How are you?
I got them, Nicole. That was for you, Andy. It's like I gotta do that.
Give it the look.
Yeah.
Amanda, that's hard to do.
Yeah, it's hard to do. I mean, if you're better off going to Facebook, then that would probably be your best bet, hon. Good, Missy. Yeah, I gave him the slaps. Eddie, watch the stream back and you'll see here.
Oh, really?
Whatever.
You know what, Andy? She's trying to play the whatever card, but I believe it.
Oh, and even that last one must have been hard because there was a delay.
That came from downtown.
So, all right, to get started, about a year ago, I was at my dad's house taking care of the dog for a week because he had gone camping with some friends, and my sister, my wife, had also gone to Colombia with her family for a month. So my in-laws asked me to take care of their dog while they were gone, and I, of course, said yes. So there I am, the first night at my dad's house with two dogs who had been playing together all day. I decided to go to bed around 10 p.m., so I got up, locked the front and back door, made sure every door in the house except for my bedroom door was closed, and I slept.
Hello, Sandra Pink.
Hello, Sandra Pink. How are you? Welcome.
Just real quick.
Mhm.
Hey, everybody, I know you guys like the flashy stickers. I'm not telling you not to use them, but if you can refrain, I mean, every now and then I get it. You're going to hit it. That's understandable. Amanda, I understand about people that have seizures from that stuff. So just out of due respect, I'm not asking you to stop using them, but please take into consideration Amanda's here. So don't use them often.
Right. All right, so at about midnight, I hear the dogs freaking out, barking and whining. So I jump out of bed and I go check on them. And on my way downstairs, I see the back door unlocked and open. I look down at the dogs and they're both staring at the basement door, whining and growling while laying in a puddle of their own pee. I see that the basement door is open, so I have 911 ready to be called on my phone, and I go downstairs. I search around for a while, not even sure what I'm looking for until I decide to go back upstairs and clean out the dogs. At maybe 1 a.m., the dogs are finally clean and no longer focused on the basement. So I make sure the basement door is latched, and I go back upstairs after making sure the back door is locked as well. At about 2 a.m., I once again hear the dogs barking and freaking out. So I run downstairs. Once again, I see the back door wide open. So is the basement door. But this time, both dogs are staring out the window, looking into the backyard. So this time,
It left the house.
I don't bother to go downstairs. I just close the door. I run to the back door and close it and lock it as hard and fast as I can. I go upstairs and I did not sleep for the rest of the night, but both dogs slept on the bed with me. After about a week, my dad gets home and I ask him if we can watch his home cameras for that first night I was there. I had to wait for him to get home because I had no clue how to work it. And as we're watching, I'm just looking to see if anything or anyone even went near the house during that night.
Hi, Sammy.
Hi, Sammy.
Thanks for stopping by before you go to work. Don't work too hard.
That's right. Have a good day at work, hon. Oddly enough, there was nothing.
Patrick said he had nailed the door shut.
Right? The only weird thing is that around 12 and 2, the back door randomly flings open with nothing going in or out of it. But the scary part is that from a different camera in the house, we can clearly see me lock the back doors every single time.
But now they're unlocked and open.
No issues with the locks any other day before or since then. So what do you think? Do you think something came in and then left?
Something had to have happened. If the dogs are laying there in their own urine,
yeah,
it had to have been something, I'm not going to say demonic, but very frightful enough for a dog to sit there and piss.
Right.
And not move.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then for the dogs now to be staring out the window like it's watching it leave. So, yeah, someone was definitely there.
Yeah.
The camera just didn't pick it up.
Right. Excuse me. But yeah, creepy. I would freak out, especially since it's your dad's house, but it's new. It's not like you stay there all the time or whatnot.
Yeah, you didn't grow up in that house.
Right. At least that's what I caught from the story, is it didn't sound like he was there a lot.
I get the new home jitter thing.
Right.
But not that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, the dogs peeing themselves definitely strikes a chord.
And them laying in it.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want to move.
They didn't. They were. Yeah. All right, number 2 was I was visiting family and stayed in a hotel with my boyfriend, now husband. The first night that we were there.
Whoever bought the 3 coffees, thank you so much. That's greatly appreciated.
Did it pop up?
Somebody bought 3 coffees.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I mean, thank you.
Oh, that was in the beginning. I already got that notification. Probably because you didn't click on it. Sorry.
I wasn't here.
But thank you anyway, of course.
They're on your end. It has to be very bad. No, they were laying in it, Patrick. They were laying down. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, they were frozen in fear.
Yeah, definitely. So it says I was visiting and staying in a hotel.
Welcome back, Heather.
Welcome back. The first night we were there, we went to bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night facing the window. I noticed that there was a dark shadow in the corner of my room that looked human-shaped. After staring a while, I realized that it must have been a floor lamp since the corner was kind of bare. And that's the logical choice. You know, you wake up, you see something, you're in a new place, you tell yourself, okay, it's the lamp.
Yeah, it's got to be a lamp.
So I rolled back over and went to bed. The following morning, I remember this, and I turned to look in the corner where the lamp was, and
There's no lamp.
There's no lamp. The corner was bare. So I mentioned it to my boyfriend, and he went white. He told me that he woke up in the middle of the night because he felt like he was being watched and had to get up out of bed to go to the bathroom. I vaguely remember him getting up to try and shake the feeling.
Patrick and Andy being funny. Patrick wants to know how to buy coffee, and Andy said, you send the money to me, Patrick, and I post the coffee. Fucking scam artist in the works right there. But you got to admit, pretty much all of us has probably have done this. Like you go to a hotel and you just gander at the room, you look, and you think there's a lamp in the corner, you know.
Yeah.
Normally,
because it's bare, like she said, it looks bare. So
all right, in your mind, there's a lamp there, but you wake up, there ain't no floor lamp there. There ain't nothing there.
Right.
Hi, Blue.
Yeah, it's creepy, man. I'm telling you. All right, Linz, take care.
Take care, Linz.
Thanks for stopping in, hon. I appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, 100%. All
right. Next one is my father dies less than 6 months after my daughter was born. She was not a good sleeper for the first year or so. They never are. Waking up, screaming, crying all hours of the night. My wife and I would trade times getting up to soothe her.
Love you too, Linz.
Love you too. Thanks, hon, for coming in. One evening, not too long after my father passed, I was having a dream that my daughter was screaming in her bedroom. In the dream, I got up and went to her room. But before I got there, my dad came out of the room and said, "She'll be okay," and kept walking away and crying, and the crying stopped. I shot up and saw the baby monitor screen was on. It was sound activated mode, so the screen only comes on when there's a sound over 60 decibels and goes off 3 minutes of quiet. I get up and check, and she's fine and sleeping. A little shaken, it took me a little bit to go back to sleep. I tell my wife about the dream in the morning. She told me she heard the baby crying, but thought I had gotten up to calm her. Still a vivid memory in my mind nearly 3 years later, seeing my younger looking dad coming out of her room.
Patrick, I don't think Heather's leaving. I think Linz is leaving and saying bye to Heather. And that's strange in itself right there.
Giggle Pickles, I haven't had a lot of weird feelings at night when I lived with my boyfriend.
And a lot of things happen when new couples move in together.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it has to do when it comes to like somebody moving in with somebody else. I think a lot of it, and if they have paranormal hauntings going on as it is, I think a lot of it too is the energies of the people.
But the energy becomes high because it's a new situation
right.
for both of you.
Yeah, even though you've been going out for a while or whatnot, you still get That little nervous, like,
yeah. And now the energy is just like astronomical at that point.
right.
But yeah, it's creepy. You see someone coming out of the room. Wait a minute. Whoa. No.
Right? So do you think that was his dad? Do you think he just had a dream about his dad check? Or, I mean, him waking up and the monitor being on, that's kind of creepy. Because it's sound activated.
Well, see, sound activated, though, that anything can set that off.
No, it said over 60 decibels. So it has to come on when the baby cries.
Well, even a good gust of wind, though, with a whistle can turn that on then.
At the same time, though, of him having that dream?
I'm not saying it's not right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But that one's, it'd be hard to explain it.
Right, yeah.
The old guy next door, about 80 years old, had an 18-year-old girl move in. And for ages, there was all sorts of, oh my God, Andy.
I wasn't going to stop him. I had already read that. That's why I was shaking my head. Giggle said his mom passed away in the house. His dad passed away at the hospital, but it was the house. It was in the house, and the home's former owner was in the house. Wow. That's wild, yeah. Definitely. All right, so next one is, after my father-in-law died, we moved into their house. My father-in-law had been an old Navy man, a provider, a hard worker, caretaker, the kind of guy who weekly checked the oil and topped off fluids in his wife's car. But he had a lot of drama and chaos with his wife and children, who all suffer from one thing or another: depression, bipolar, schizoaffective disorder. Oh, I'm waiting for sorry, he was giving me signals. It was mixed signals because I was looking at the chat thinking I was going to get scared. In the first few weeks we lived there, the front door repeatedly opened by itself, just popping open at random times. I had small kids going in and out, so I blamed them at first. I inspected for any reason why.
Oh, no. Oh, Pammy.
Hi, Pammy.
Yeah, she's getting ready to get one of her housemates back over.
Oh,
So
jeez.
she's getting ready to be locked down.
Thank you, Rain, for the ice cream.
So sorry to hear that, Pammy. I really am. I just don't pray that you avoid it.
Definitely. So he said, like I said, he had small kids going in and out, so I blamed them at first. I inspected it for any reason why, closing it. Thank you, Ron, for the ice cream, hon. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ron.
Jiggling the handle, pushing it from outside. You know, like the stuff when weird things happen, what you do. You know, when a door won't stay closed.
You try to investigate it.
Yeah, you pushing it from the outside, looking for weather stripping, barely closing it, etc. And I couldn't see any reason why it wouldn't stay closed. It would open sometimes 3 times a day, sometimes none, with people in the room or without, but a dozen times over 3 to 4 weeks. Finally, one night I really had a really vivid dream. I was in the living room when the door opened, and John walked in. He looked tired, worried, and confused. I said, "Hey, John, you okay?" He didn't answer, but he looked at me and looked around. I could tell he was, as usual, more worried about us than himself. I said, "It's okay, John. You're okay. I'll take care of them. We're going to be fine." He looked at me, gave me a worried half smile, but nodded, turned, nodded again, and went back out. I never fixed the door because it never happened again.
It was John.
It was the dad.
Dad was dead, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had passed away.
It was him making sure she was okay.
Everybody was okay.
And now I can move on.
Right. I got chills with that one.
I do. I got goosebumps from hell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would freak me out, Blue, when you hear a sneeze twice in the same room and you know it's empty. Yeah.
Well, don't be in a house with me at being minute down.
Oh, I forgot to tell you.
Under the weathers have been gargling with straight salt.
I forgot to tell you guys. Nubs loves turtles.
Yes, we all know this. It could have been Blue. It could have been your mom letting you know that she was there.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, in that story right there, Dad just wanted to make sure baby girl's okay.
No, that was his son.
Or was his son's room?
Yeah.
But I've got this, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm man enough now.
I'll take care of him.
I've grown up.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
My friend and I heard has never come back. Huh? My friend I had here. Oh, the friend you had there has never come
because they
back.
got scared. I could understand that. It sucks when people, I mean, I hate that people get fearful of spirits when
They're not afraid of that. They're afraid of not knowing what the hell.
Right, yeah.
Like me. Remember when I first got spooked with that door handle down in the basement?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, that spooked the shit. I'm like, what the hell? We know nobody's in the rooms.
Right.
But you can hear the door handle jiggle like they're trying to either go in or come out.
I thought he was going to jump in my arms.
I tried.
I really did. But the thing about it is like when I'm not going to lie, when I was on Amy's panel, I told this too. It's like when I first started being, interested in the paranormal, I was freaked out about everything. Definitely. And I think that's what, like, I wanted to research why, and I think that's why Danielle's the same way. Danielle is
curiosity.
That curiosity, because you know what got Danielle turned into, like, into ghosts and stuff like that. And I swear to God, that's what it was. Is I told her over and over again, no, you cannot play Five Nights at Freddy's. Remember?
And what did she play?
No, I told her because it was on my iPad at the time. And she wanted to play it. And both me and Ryan kept telling her, no, it's too scary. You can't do it. She snuck it and she played it. I saw it.
I caught it just in time.
Haha. But she got it and she played it. Next thing I know, I see my iPad going through the room because she threw it. No, Five Nights at Freddy. Freaky, you should play that game.
No, he can't. No, he won't. No. Freaky, don't even try it. Take my son to the dog waiting. Friend wants to come over. I was definitely freaked out at my first time. Still freaked out. And it's true. And one thing I do not like, Nubs, is these paranormal groups that have been around forever and a day. They've seen a lot of stuff. They've experienced a lot of stuff. Don't sit there and say that, I don't get scared anymore. Because you're full of shit.
You still jump scare. I mean, we're human. We're going to jump scare. I don't care who you are. You hear a loud noise or something, you're going to jump.
Freaky, you do not want to play the game. Don't even trust me.
Yes.
If you are afraid of the wind blowing hard, you do not want to play this game.
Oh, I would love to see Freaky play the game for the first time.
He would fucking have a heart attack. But yeah, no, it's shit like that. We just gather, regroup, and we're fine. No, you ain't. I mean, I haven't been doing this long, and there's still times where me and Missy will be sitting here in the office like we are right now, and I'll hear a noise in the living room, and my head spins so fast, I'm waiting for my fucking neck to break.
I don't get, I wouldn't say that I get
spooked.
Yeah, I don't get scared. I get spooked, like the night that your freaking headphones were going back and forth.
Yeah, they hang here on a speaker or on a microphone. I'm sorry, next to my monitor. And Shadow was telling me one night she was sitting here and she's on my computer because your computer was down.
No. Well, no. The first time I was here, but I could see your headphones.
See them over there. And they're just steadily swinging back and forth on the microphone.
They were hanging like this, right? Now, I can understand if they go like this, but they weren't. They were going like this, right? And I'm just like, okay, you can have the room. And I went in the living room. Because I was here at night alone without...
I was at work, wasn't I?
Yeah, you went to work, I think. So, yeah. But jump scares, yeah. I mean, we are
It's
human. You
Yeah,
know, that's
human
survival instinct. Clowns freak you out?
Oh man, we could. Sometime, Nubs, we'll sit down and talk about a coworker I used to work with.
Oh, much love to you, Sandra. Have a great rest of your day, hon. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Sandra.
We appreciate it.
All right, let's go on with more stories.
Okay, so a couple of years ago, I had a dream reliving one of my childhood experiences for where I was playing with my cousin.
No, Nicole, you guys are the best. You know it.
You guys are the best. So I was playing with my cousin, and in the end of the dream, when he was getting ready to go home, I said goodbye to him, and for some reason, it felt different that time. A couple days later, he ended up passing away due to sudden death syndrome. Basically a heart attack, but he was 25, so it's unusual.
Well, yeah, they ain't SIDS.
3 years later to this day, every 2 to 3 weeks, I'm having a very vivid dream where I'm talking with him and having full conversations. My friend said it's my cousin reaching out to me. Well, I don't believe that. I can't otherwise explain its rationality. Something I forgot to mention that he was born within the same month and year as me.
Wow,
Thank you for the
Nicole.
diamond, Nicole. I'm still standing better than I ever did. That's right. So he was born the same month and year as me, just 8 days apart. And so we've been close friends since we were young kids. That's understandable. And definitely, I believe that he's coming to him in dreams. I told you guys about my mom. We go out, we hang out. Although I haven't had one. Now that I've started to have lucid dreams, I haven't really...
But did you read Patrick's comment and why Freaky said that?
I'm soon to be 62 and dealing with the paranormal for 50 years, and still jump, Eddie, and still jump. Yeah.
And then Freaky.
Oh my God!
Yeah, just said, Patrick, I don't think Eddie likes you saying you jump him.
That's funny as hell. You guys,
when I seen that, it was like, oh my God!
You guys are nuts. All right, next one. I had a friend who was very sick at the hospital this past spring. Not COVID, but sepsis from an operation in his back. I went to bed, and at that in-between stage, when you're not awake and you're not quite asleep, I could sense him standing by the side of my bed. We said a few words to each other, and then he hugged me. When I woke up the next morning, I found out that he passed not too long after I had gone to bed. Many people would say it was just a dream, but I know better in my heart. I felt that he was actually there, and I felt the hug. He was one of the most caring and inspirational people that I've ever known.
He was saying goodbye.
And it was just like him to say goodbye to the people who loved him. Yeah. See, I didn't get that. When my mom passed away, I was very restless that night. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't get comfortable.
And I'm going to tell you, what she's telling you is the God's honest truth. When the phone rang, it was around 3:30 in the morning. And
no, it wasn't. The phone didn't ring. I got a text the next morning from my nephew. Remember?
No, you got a phone call.
No, I kept waking you up because I was restless. No, I got a text because I ran. Remember, you were in the back room and I ran and showed you my phone because I had one of them stupid flip phones.
Well, either way you look at it, she knew. She already knew her.
I didn't know what that going through it though. Yeah.
You knew that your mom was no longer here. That's why you couldn't sleep.
Right. But at the time, I was like pissed. I was like,
"There's a lag from hell."
I'm like really pissed because I'm like, why the hell can't I sleep? You better, Patrick. I've heard a lot about that, Nicole. She says I got 5 clocks, and when my mom passed away, they all stood still at 18:45. I've heard a lot of that happening, or that happening to a lot of people. I just remember it was like 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock that I couldn't freaking go to bed or couldn't sleep.
Are you guys getting a lag, or I mean, is she speaking in real time? If you watch her mouth, is everything coordinating? Because I got a big lag.
Yeah. Well, there is a lag, but not. Yeah, even on mine, it's a little bit laggy.
My friend's dog passed away that night. He came and visited. I didn't know that he had died the next day. My friend told me that Hankook had died. I don't know if that's the dog or the friend.
It's laggy on D Live, or maybe it's not laggy on D Live. Okay.
Eddie, if you're in the same room and her lips don't match the sound, something freaky.
Oh, Chinook.
What is it? Oh, Chinook. Okay.
No lag here. Must be your optic nerves in need of a beer.
No, there's a lag. Okay.
Okay. My mom's cousin woke up sobbing for no reason the time my grandpa, her uncle, passed away. She told her husband he died, and then 2 hours later or so, someone from my family called her and told her that he did pass away that morning. That was when she told us the story about her sobbing at the time my papa passed away. Definitely weird, but also really sad and kind of endearing in the weird way. Yeah.
What country singer was it? Or it was a singer. And who was it that his dad came to visit him? Remember, they sat on the couch, they talked.
It wasn't a country singer. It was, oh my God, Sammy Hagar.
Well, okay, a singer.
Yeah, but he wasn't a country singer.
I corrected it after that, but he said during an interview, he sat there and said that his dad came to visit him, and they sat there and they talked.
And he was mad because he was drunk.
Yep. Because that's how his dad, and that's why Sammy, his life led the way it did because of his father anyways. He visited for a couple of hours, and when he left, he hugged him. He says, "I love you," and he went on his way. You come to find out, though, his dad had died hours prior to this visit.
Yeah. Because, right after that, he got a phone call from, I want to say his sister, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
I think it was his sister.
And saying that dad passed away. And they found him, like, on a park bench, like, miles away, still in California. Hey, Ruth. Still in California, but at another part of California.
And he had died.
And he's just like, there's no way. There's no way, because I just sat and talked to him.
Yep. I remember watching that interview.
Yeah. It's one that stuck with you. It gives you chills. There's only certain stories that give me chills, but that one certainly did.
But he was definitely adamant about, I just had a conversation with Dad.
Like he had to push him out the door, and in the beginning, before he sat down and talked, he was trying to get him out the door because he's like, "You're being loud. You're going to wake up the kids," and his wife at the time, and
And come to find out, he's the only one that can hear him.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the next one is, my father is a complete skeptic, and yet also is one of the most open-minded people I know. He's very hard-headed and stubborn and not prone to making things up for attention. When I was maybe 8 or 9, my mother, my brother, father, and myself were all watching TV in the living room. Out of nowhere, he starts bawling. Dad tears are no joke. Yeah, that's so true. Especially a dad who I've seen maybe cry twice prior. I remember him just saying, "I'm feeling really, really sad all of a sudden. It's like someone passed through me." The next day, he found out his best friend Les had passed the night before. A few minutes before he began crying.
And I can actually agree with
that.
Heather. Chris Price.
Yeah.
When I ended up moving from Erie to Harbor Creek to live with my dad, and I went to Harbor Creek High School, Chris lived about five houses down, and he became like my best friend. And he was there when I got home from my surgery for my leg and that. And I remember before I got the phone call, it was like you felt this heavy presence of sadness. And then a few minutes later, I got a phone call, and it was like Chris Price died. It was just like I already knew.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's not that I knew, but I knew.
Right, yeah, exactly. Definitely.
Why would we mind you coming in, Ruth?
So the next one is my husband and I stayed in a super hotel in Santa Fe, New Mexico. At the time, I did not really believe in the paranormal things or ghosts, mainly because nothing's ever happened to me. The old room we were staying in had this decorated wooden chair that had a slanted seat. I took note of the slant because I wound up putting my computer bag on this chair and felt completely comfortable doing so. I'm super careful with my electronics, and the slant seat made it so my bag slid all the way to the back of the chair. So okay. So I was thinking in my head, why the hell?
At first, I'm thinking the same thing.
But it slants up. Okay, we got that.
I'm just making sure they're not sliding off the chair.
Yeah. So I'm like, why would you feel comfortable? I was having anxiety just reading that.
But I was thinking the same thing you were.
Yeah.
Like, you got to keep your legs stiff, holding yourself back.
What kind of chair is this? Okay, so the back of the chair so it wouldn't fall. I also hung a nice new dress on the back of the chair. We went out sightseeing, and when we came back, my dress was on the floor near the chair. I wondered if housekeeping had touched it, even though we have a do not disturb on our door all day, and the room ended up not been serviced. Oh well, we ordered some dinner and went to bed. My husband and I were laying in bed in the dark talking, almost falling asleep when suddenly we heard a super loud slam. It was so loud we shot awake and turned on the light. There on the other side of the room,
Hurry back, Nicole.
a good 10 to 15 feet from the chair was my computer bag. It was like someone had lifted it and threw it down. Like there's no way it just fell off the chair.
Especially if it's leaning backwards.
Not only that, 10 to 15 feet away.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. And it was a slam to the ground. I was so terrified, but my husband just shrugged like, guess this place is haunted, like a lot of places in Santa Fe. I would have kicked your ass if I was that scared and you said that. Guess the ghost doesn't like stuff on the chair.
That's his seat, goddammit.
I demanded we sleep with the lights on. I didn't even have the courage to check my computer if it was okay until the next day. The next morning, my husband asked the front desk if the hotel was known to be haunted, and the guy just laughed and said, "Oh, what? Did you see the little girl?"
Oh yeah, by the way.
And kind of like why that emotion is still there about that little freaking calf that was, well, it wasn't a calf. It was a bull. Because the way you reacted was like, I'm freaking out. Like
on our journey?
Yeah.
No, that was a calf.
No, it was a bull.
No, it was a fucking calf.
But it was bigger than a calf.
Oh my God, it had to have only been about 2 years old, max.
It don't matter. It fucking was still a bull. And I know, okay, living around farms all my life, because I'd lived in Western New York, which is all countryside. Living on farms, I know that cows and bulls don't give a shit about that barbed wire fence. They'll break it.
Not the electric fence.
Well, not the electric fence.
Well, this had both, though. That was the amazing part about it.
I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't recall seeing no electric fence. But I know. And yeah, and that's no bull. That's right. And
you got to hear this.
They'll break out of that shit quicker than shit. I don't care what anybody says, right? And we're walking in this bull. All I can see, and now we're tired. I'm tired as all hell. We've been walking for a while. Yeah, hours. And this bull is like stomping its foot.
He was jumping up and down, playing.
That was after. That was after, because he kept following us. And it's because I had a stupid pink backpack on.
And at first, we didn't realize why the bull is acting the way he is, but he wasn't mad. He just kind of, and then it really dawned on us, and she's wearing a pink backpack.
And I was scared shitless. And Eddie was just nothing but laughing at me. So I can understand this girlfriend being pissed at her boyfriend. Well, I guess the hotel is haunted.
I was all good.
If you're freaked out.
He's not going to come after us. And then he starts frolicking and went little
That was
snow.
cute. I'm not going to lie. That was cute.
What that was left. I mean, he's trying like hell to throw snow in the air, and he was having the ball.
No, Scoop, they're not. I worked on a farm when I was 14, and I used to wear. I learned my lesson because I used to wear sweatpants, old sweatpants that I never wore, and I'd wear different colors like yellow and pink and that. And the farmer, he was like, "Don't wear those. Don't wear those." I'm like, "Oh."
Well, actually, I ended up taking the backpack from her, and I carried it, and we finished.
I mean, I was almost in tears. I was just because I was tired.
But not only that, though, she wants to stop, and it's like, why are we going to stop when this bull sees it?
I was like almost scared to move. You know what I mean? I wanted to stop because I was scared.
Skook says that her dad had a young bull that traced her up a tree.
I know, they're no joke, man.
I wasn't afraid of it.
And I think a lot of it too is I've had an experience with a bull where I almost got rammed. And
when you were fishing?
Yeah, when I was fishing, I thought it was a cow. And I'm used to cows being scared, so all I have to do is turn around and go, and they'll run away. Well, I went, and saw that it was the bull, and he didn't freaking care that I went,
Andy, I didn't say I wore the pink backpack. I just said I took it from her.
What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Skooks, after the initial confrontation of the pink bag, it was just playing. It was having fun.
Yeah. But I didn't know that at the time. I was scared. I was tired. I was hungry.
I was relaxed, tired, and just kept on walking. All right, next one.
All right. My dad grew up on a dairy farm. Jesus.
Wow, here we go.
Here we go. Talk about synchronicity. My dad grew up on dairy.
Chocolate mooncake time.
Hey.
My dad grew up on a dairy farm with his parents, who worked for a guy who owned multiple farms. So they would hop around to different farms and manage them, so to speak. Also, we lived in Australia. Anyway, while my dad was in his late teens to early 20s, they lived in this house that eventually became known as the spooky house to him. We all have one of those.
Yes, honey, you do. All of you guys do.
You all rock. But we all have one of those. Oh, that's the spooky house. You know what I mean?
You do.
Yeah. So it became the spooky house to him and his parents, and this is what they experienced while living there. The house was known to have a forbidding feeling to it, like something was always off, but you couldn't put your finger on it. I hate that. The floor was made out of old wood that had little notches in it, and Nan, Dad's mom, put little stoppers in them to fill the holes. That would be so my mom.
Actually, no, Patrick, at that point, when all that was going down, it didn't bother me at all.
A lot of the time, they would wake up in the morning and find that all the stoppers would be pushed up from underneath the house. Dad said that they had these giant-ass hippie beads hanging in the doorways, so big and heavy that it would be, they would have to be a great big gust of wind to move them. He lost count on how many times he would get up early from work and find them swaying. like someone walked through them. When he checked the bedrooms, everyone would be asleep. So I remember Dad telling me that it slowly got worse over time, like the house didn't want them there or something. At one point, Nan contacted a psychic to see if they could make it better or calm down. Well, the psychic wouldn't even get out of her car and come up from the driveway. Absolutely refused to come inside the house. And Nan was left flabbergasted and asked what she could do. The psychic told her to move, and she drove off.
Well, if you got a psychic sitting there that says, I'm not getting out of the car, I'm not coming in your house, move, bitch.
You're right. Get out the way.
I'm moving.
Dad said not long after that, the things would start stalking the house. To this day, he has no idea what they were, and he doesn't really want to know. Nan would come out in the morning and find that grass was pressed down or trampled around the house, especially when where the windows are. Her peg basket on the clothesline would be ripped to shreds and bits of it spread around. Dad said that he would get the shits because she had to keep buying new ones. It started to get more serious when Dad would be woken by scratching at his window on the outside, and he always was too scared to look back because he knew whatever it was staring right back at him while scratching the window. Oh, that gave me chills. I'm like, I could see, like,
nails on a chalkboard.
I know. They would check in the morning to find that the paint had been scratched off the house and around at a human height, and of course the grass flattened. At one point, while Dad was out working a few paddocks over, Nan came in and woke Dad up. Oh, at one point, while his dad was out working a few paddocks, Nan came in and woke Dad up, and together they huddled in this bedroom, waiting for the daylight as this thing stalked around the house outside of their house. Speaking of, it stalked Dad once too.
Hurry back, Skooks.
He was walking from the house to his dad, a few paddocks over, to help with the cows, about 4 a.m.-ish. It was cold and there was frost on the grass.
4 a.m. Amish?
No, it was 4 a.m.-ish.
I know.
Oh. As Dad was walking, he could hear a crunch coming from behind him. So he stopped, and it stopped too. Dad was like, huh? Started walking again. And so did it. Again, Dad stopped, and it stopped. Now starting to get freaked out, Dad started to pick up the pace, and he stopped again. Only this time it didn't stop, but started to come right up at Dad. Dad fucking bolted. Ran over 2 paddocks and cleared the fence. Didn't stop, and he didn't stop until he reached his dad's side. Whenever Dad's parents left for a couple days and he had the place to himself, Dad would host massive parties with his friends. They had...
Oh, Rain must not have moon cookies.
Either that or don't capitalize the R, maybe?
Yeah, just put the exclamation point and then rock.
They had the run of the house and could sleep wherever they wanted, but all of them always ended up huddling in one room where they went to sleep. One time, it was just Dad and his cousin over. They played a game of pool and drank. At one point around midnight, both of them were sitting around and heavily, I'm thinking, drunk. A dark figure appeared and said, "Go to bed," Dad said.
There you go, Rain. Now you got it.
You're the best. Dad said he was pissed drunk and thought, why the hell not? And they went to bed. So this thing told him to go to bed, and he's like, okay.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Right?
You gonna argue with it?
I might if I was drinking. I have more balls when I'm drinking.
Look, if I'm drinking and something out of nowhere tells me to go to bed, I'm going to fucking bed.
No, you'll start arguing with me, thinking it's me telling you to go to bed.
Well, no, I know you're nagging voice.
The next morning, they woke up to find the game of pool was left unfinished, put away, and his cousin asked, who was that person that was standing over their beds watching them sleep? Dad didn't remember that part. Dad and his parents moved out. Someone eventually moved in, not long after the house burned down. Dad didn't know what caused the fire, but he was sure the fuck happy about it. I love it.
Yes, Patrick, we are one big family.
Yes, we are.
Bigfoot's a big softy. Just reach between his big toes and tickle. He will be putty in your hands. You know what, Andy? When you can catch a video of you doing that and proving it,
Yeah, that'd be
I'll
awesome.
give it a try. Until then, good luck.
Yeah. So this one says, I was at my daughter's house. Okay. She and her husband were given his deceased uncle's house. So, 1 year, she and my granddaughters and I had gone to the store. My son-in-law, James, who is 5'9" and stocky, and a friend of theirs who lives with them, Gary, who's 6 foot, thin build, both worked at the same time delivering packages. But sometimes one would get off before the other. The house is older, so when you walk into the foyer, her room is off to the right. Straight ahead, you walk into the kitchen, and off to the right is the living room, with the bathroom off that. She kept up blackout drapes in the living room, so it was dark. So we get back from the store. My daughter goes out back, kids run upstairs, and I'm in the kitchen by the counter unloading bags. I'm facing the back door. I see a tall shadow move from a bathroom and go straight up to the TV entertainment system. I think to myself that Gary is home, because Gary would always come home and go straight to the TV. Where he had a little bowl, he would put his he had a little bowl that he would put his keys in and his change in.
Double points.
You got me a little bit freaky. Didn't even think about it. So I get done and go to use the bathroom, and I said, as I finish and leave, it crosses my mind that I didn't see Gary in the living room. My daughter had come back and asked where Gary was. She said that he was, when my daughter came home or came back, I asked her, where's Gary? And she's like, he's still at work. I told her, no, I just saw him in the living room. She said, she and I just passed it off. So I got mulling over it. And when James came home first, I asked James if his uncle was more like his build or taller and thinner. James tells me his uncle was tall and thin. So we got talking, and James told me that his uncle made his bedroom where theirs is now, instead of the upstairs bedroom, as he got sicker and couldn't use the stairs. So he went to the bathroom. He would just walk right through the doorway where my daughter and James had their TV entertainment system. Gary got home a few hours later. I didn't get the heebie-jeebies at the time, though I was seeing anything other than flesh and blood person. So yeah, that makes no, Pammy, that wasn't my dad's story.
I love how Freaky Geek waits until I walk away and then does it to you.
I know.
Because I heard you say you got me.
Hi, Amora Witch. How are you? Good evening.
Amora Witch.
How you doing?
She's saying evening, so she's from across the pond.
Welcome, welcome.
Absolutely. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Hopefully you do. Right now we're telling a little bit of ghost stories. I'm trying to get through it. It's coming to the end of the show. So my
how many more you gotta go? Denmark. Okay.
Very cool.
How many more you got?
2 more.
We got 15 minutes. We're
Oh
good.
no, 3 more.
We're
Yeah.
still good.
Yeah.
Read fast.
No, they're short stories. So if I read fast, we're gonna leave a gap. So we'll get to that strange mystery of Michael teachings next week. Remind me.
All right. Amorowitz says she did necrophony today.
Necrophonic, the app.
Well,
Today.
the C isn't there, so it messed me up.
Very cool. Very cool. Did I miss what Patrick had said?
Well, I got to go over here to. Then I got to scroll up and not down. Yeah.
Andy said,
yes, Nicole. I told my friends they should move out of there. 6 months later, they had to move. They were running the place.
oh, he was talking to Andy and Nicole. Okay. Yeah. 3 more stories to go. That's enough for another 6-pack, Eddie. That's what Andy said.
Oh, yeah.
Back when I lived in my very first apartment, I would hear what sounded like a child calling for their parent. Now, at first, I thought it was genuine, or genuinely some kid who had lost, because the complex was big enough for a kid to wander off from their parents. But the voice seemed to always be right next to me. It wasn't until I moved out that I found out that a little girl was killed by her abusive father in the 80s there.
That's pretty messed up.
Yeah. I would, it's always the hindsight, that you find out about this stuff. And you're like, what the hell?
I mean, do you think that maybe all of us are empathic in a way?
I think we all have all gifts.
I'm not
You know how I feel about it.
Gifts. I'm just saying, though, the ability to feel pain years after a situation has happened. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I do. You've seen me.
Well, I know you do.
Believe me. That's why do you think I need 1 million naps during the day?
Yes, our third eye, Marlich. Yeah, you're right. We did an experiment about a year ago now, where we used a magnetic pole on the third eye, 30 minutes a day for 30 days, and we realized that a couple of things happened, but nothing prominent.
Oh,
I think I found Free Freddy. No, it's not Free Freddy. It's 5 nights. 5 nights of Freddy. Freaky Geek, I'm telling you, is a hell of a friend.
Please at least videotape so we can hear it. We don't have to see nothing. Just, I want to hear it.
Freaky Geek, I am telling you, as a friend, you do not want to play this game.
Free Teddy Freddy game. Free Teddy Freddy game. I can imagine what that is.
Sounds like a porn channel.
Yeah, we're going to try it again. We're going to meditate before we go live.
Yeah, we'll meditate for 30 hours, and then we'll put the magnet on and try it again.
And then we'll go live and have to explain
what we felt, what we seen, heard.
No, I mean, we'll have to explain to everybody why we, yeah, like we did before.
I mean, no, not 30 hours. It's 30 minutes a day for 30 days.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not knowing my luck. Knowing my luck, if I had to wear it for 30 hours, I'm poking myself in the eye. Like, it's slipping off and killing me somehow.
Yeah, it'll like drip right down into my sinus patches through my eye.
It's only these. I mean, the regulars know. They've seen
them. Oh, you
them.
did find them?
Yeah, I did find them. It's these kind of magnets. So, I mean, and then we stick them.
And we hold it on with a headband.
I forgot. Which one do we put on our...
I think we did the north.
The blue?
The last time? No, I think we did the north, which is the red.
Okay.
I think this time maybe we should try the south and see what happens.
Push the blood away?
Hey, it'll open itself up.
Yeah.
3 hours might get the magnet to pull the brain out.
that could be too. But I did when we first started, if you guys remember, I did say that I felt like I could feel it in my sinuses. Yeah, like it was being, oh. Mm-hmm.
Well, what was that one time? I felt like I was floating.
Yeah.
But I was sitting here. North
But
sounds. It's fire.
it didn't, we didn't see what
The
guy
story.
saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I definitely think it opened us up.
Oh, definitely. I have to agree with that. I mean, I hear stuff more often. I can see stuff more often.
Right. Yeah.
Try wearing the rocks I have sent you on your head for 30 minutes a day for 30 days. Be interesting to see if you get anything off of it.
That's true. That's true. I'm telling you what, with my selenite wand, when I put it on my heart,
Why is that thing glowing?
it's just.
Oh, it's the way, okay, the way
Yeah.
he held it up. It was like, that thing looks like it's glowing.
When I put it in my heart, oh my God. Let me tell you something. It's definitely a pull. All right, so let's get to these last few stories here. So it was just a normal night.
Maria.
Hi, Maria. So it was just a normal night. I go to bed. I'm still a youngish kid, and I end up having a dream. So it was my uncle who came to me in this dream, and his face was caved in, and he had blood all over him. His arms and legs were broken. All this gory stuff. Anyway, I have this dream, and he says to me, take care of your mother. So this is my mom's older brother. Anyway, mom comes home and wakes me up in the middle of the dream, and she's crying and upset. So I get out of bed and I comfort her. She tells me she got a call from the hospital saying that my uncle had died in a motorbike accident moments earlier. Anyway, for about a week after that, mom was quite upset. And then maybe 10 or days so later, mom tells me she had a dream that my uncle visited her and apologized to her and then drifted away. Anyway, I believe years later on his death days, I believe it's years later, and it's his death day. Mom lights a candle to celebrate and whatnot, and I saw my uncle sitting on the couch watching over my mom. I didn't know what I was seeing, but it just disappeared in thin air. So yeah, I mean, that was her older brother taking care of younger sister.
Yeah, it happens all the time too, though.
Right. But it happened to be on the day of his death years later.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, kind of like an anniversary thing.
Yeah.
Not meaning to be an anniversary. You know what I mean?
Right.
Marie says, why am I not blue anymore? I had to explain to her, this is Shadow's show, not mine.
Yes, remember.
You know you love though, Maria. Don't worry.
So the last story is when we first moved into our old house, our uncle gifted us 2 puppy Labrador retrievers. I named one Charlie. My brother named the other one Gordo.
Gordo?
Gordo.
Okay.
A few months later, they both got parvo.
And that's it. He's known.
Right, yeah. Well, I want to make sure I read that right. Charlie ended up dying from it while Gordo survived. More time passes, and I don't remember what we're celebrating, but I remember being the only one inside the house. Everyone else was in the backyard around my dad, who was barbecuing. I was sitting on the couch where you can see the glass sliding door in the kitchen, and I could see outside. The door was closed, and I got up to go to the bathroom. I was right at the end of the hallway when I felt Gordo jump on the back of my legs. He pushed me so hard, I remember I stumbled forward, like dogs do.
Yeah.
They have a tendency
try
to do
tackle
that.
You from behind.
Yeah. I turned around to pet him, and there was nothing there.
It was Charlie.
And the sliding door was still closed, and everyone was still outside. I was sitting on the toilet wondering how that happened. To this day, I still tell myself it was Charlie, but I'll never actually know.
It was Charlie letting him know I'm still here.
I definitely believe it was Charlie.
I'm still here. You're going for the door. Open it. I want to go out and play.
Right? Exactly. So there we go, guys. How did you like today's show? Was it good?
That sucked.
It sucked.
It
I
always
know.
sucks.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's show, though. I really do.
You always have an amazing show, honey. And I'm not saying it. I'm not.
You're
trying
biased.
To be, I'm not. Stop, because I was just gonna say I'm not trying to be biased. And people, honestly, please understand. I don't know anything about the stories until she starts talking about them.
Yeah, that's true. I might tell them little tidbits here and there, but
yes. Okay.
you're the best.
Who was that? That was Heather. Heather,
Yes.
you rock.
You rock. You guys rock. You guys are the best around.
Andy, shut up. You're going to get us in trouble. Shut your mouth. I love you, brother. You're a hell of a side-by-side host.
Celebration time! Chocolate mooncake time!
Yes, Beth, you are. Now, I've been almost 3 years. I've been doing this. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's always been that time.
Yep. And you caught us 5 minutes before ending.
Almost 3 years now. Come on.
At least she's consistent.
Yeah.
Consistently late.
Right?
Careful. It might not work though, because Freaky has there it is. Here it comes.
Watch your ears.
Double pints.
I did tell you.
No, you spelled it right. You just put in the extra symbol there.
Yeah. I forgot to do the freaking. No, it's not going to work.
What'd you forget to do?
The credits.
Why'd you forget to do it? What do you mean you forgot to do it? Load them?
Yeah.
Oh, but she's ready.
Come on. They know how this works.
What the?
I know. I'm sorry. What can I say?
Rain, that's all her doing. I have nothing to do with that end of the friggin' program. Hell, I don't even have half the shit to do with my program.
Right.
Guys, how's that time again?
What the?
First of all, you want to say
Oh,
What the fuck was going on?
because I didn't know that button was to do that. I got it credits, and it wasn't credits.
No, that was your other crap.
Yeah.
That
Well.
started coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
What the fart?
exactly.
I know. Are the credits running? No.
Now it's a pro screen.
Yeah. Damn it. Damn it, guys. Sorry. Because they don't like to. The reason why.
What the?
I know. They do not like. Oh, there we go.
That voicemail thing don't seem to work. What voice? What you just was hearing from Showers, Andy? That's actually a message from another channel.
No, that's me.
I know it's you.
No, it was standing. The voicemail, like the Anchor FM voicemail, it's not working.
Oh, the phone thing.
Because I can imagine we might not share yours on.
Hell yeah, we share the shit out of it.
Not on my channel, maybe Eddie's.
Oh, he said he sent one through earlier in the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it. It's something I have to go check. And
Marie,
be added
God
to.
only knows what the fuck I did now. Okay, I stopped trying to keep a list of how I fuck up. There ain't enough notebooks in the world.
I thank you guys for coming on and chilling with us. I hope you like. There we go. There we go.
What do you got going? What are you doing?
I'm doing my thing. Leave me
You
alone.
don't even know what thing you're doing.
Whatever.
What? It still froze.
Double points.
All right, he got that one by me. That was Rain.
That didn't scare me though.
Rain got that one by me.
All right.
There we go. All right, this is where I get to say, fist bumps, guys, hugs, ladies. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll get through all this together, I promise. And I'll be around to see you guys tomorrow.
Of course, tomorrow is Coffee and Cards, tarot readings, and oracle readings, done by yours truly and Mr. Chaos over there. They can't see you, so.
What?
Because the credits are rolling.
Son of a bitch.
Thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate each and every one of you. I can't tell you guys how much we love you. You know, it's just, we really do. As I'm doing this, I am clicking on the, get ready guys, because I am clicking on the chest right now. Ready? There you go.
Beth says she'll be late tomorrow in case we didn't know.
Okay, Beth. All right, 20 seconds, guys. If it doesn't pop up for you, click on the chest. You're the best.
You guys got to understand how much we love you and enjoy your company.
We really do. We really do. All right, with that being said, no, not credits. We need the other one. And then get Eddie back in here. You know how it goes.
Of course, I've been kicked to the curb.
Whatever.
Just so y'all can get lemons.
All right. Nice. Heather got 64.4 lemons. Patrick got 37.4. Nicole got 27.3. Amanda got 21.9. And Rain got 18.5.
Freaky got 16.1.
All right. Freaky got 16.1. Awesome. I'm so happy that the chest worked today.
I know. We've been having so much trouble with that over the past 3 or 4 shows.
We really have. All right, guys. With that being said, see you tomorrow for Tarot Tuesday, Coffee and Cards. And take care. Be safe. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, find something today that makes you smile with your eyes. All right, guys. Love you.